Hello and welcome to this podcast. Now, I want to talk about one of the methods that I actually mentioned before in one of my articles, and that's simply how to engage your mind. We're talking levels of subconsciousness, and I don't want to get too technical, I don't want to get too deep into it, so I want to make this as simple as possible. Now, if you're anything like me, keeping motivated can be a bit challenging sometimes, especially when I first started out, creating my own business. So it was really vital to try to understand how I could condition my mind to do tasks and do what was needed or required to grow my business and myself without, finding it a bit of a struggle. So it was trying to engage my mind, trying to condition it, try to hack my mind, which is another way to look at it, to engage so I could optimize it to carry out whatever tasks, objectives, whatever I had to do. I made sure that it was so geared up that I was going to go out there and do it. So by trying to research millionaires and billionaires, which I've been looking into, because it makes more sense, you've got to study successful people, see what they are doing, try to see how they've accomplished or how they've adapted their mind to be where they are right now. So I think an important part is that you've got to really try to find new ways of conditioning your mind. And one of the methods I use, which I really want to share and I really recommend it, I think it's a fantastic way, um, is what you should do is every day, if you've got a pad or a legal pad, is write down at least 10, you could say 10 points or 10 goals you want to achieve. And honestly, it does not, if you feel that it's far-fetched, then forget that. They can be as big as you want. If you want to achieve, making $3 million a month, if you want your own private jet, if you want luxury vehicles, if you want consistent holidays, if you want your own, palace, your own island. I mean, anything that you want, they honestly, it's not about being realistic, because what is being realistic, right? Because sometimes society can condition us to believe that things can be out of what if something's out of the norm, then we can't achieve it. So you need to remember something I'm going to really keep saying is create your own reality. Okay, anything is achievable, and you really need to understand that is very, very true. However, I'll cover this in another podcast. But what I want you to do with a legal pad, you should be writing down at least 10 things, objectives that you want to achieve, whatever they may be, and you need to go through them every morning. So write them down, literally write them down in the morning, go through them, and then again just before you're going to sleep. So literally again, write them down again and go through them. And you need to do this consistently. Okay, I know it's tedious, I know it's pretty long writing it all over again and again, but I do this every single day. And you can even write, you can do this with writing daily tasks, and you can go through, if you've got anything new to add, you can really write this down and add on top. But what you're doing, you're going to be conditioning your mind, your subconscious mind, to gearing it towards working towards achieving those goals. Because what a lot of people don't realize is when you keep reinforcing these objectives or these goals in your mind, your subconscious mind in the background is going to be working away and making sure that it's really going to optimize you in motivating you, making sure that you're going to be working towards them. So there's always a clear and distinct path of what you're working towards, because a lot of people unfortunately really do not have that clarity, and they don't know what they're working towards. So if you don't know what you're working towards, how are you going to monitor that, like having milestones? How are you going to know what you're working towards? So it's it's like having being on a boat and you've got no sailor, and no kind of GPS, so you really do not know where you're going. So this is a brilliant, absolutely brilliant method of keeping yourself motivated and really conditioning your mind to start working towards what you do want opposed to what you don't want. So this is a fantastic way. I highly recommend this, and I think you will, really see a difference in your mindset. So I hope you enjoyed this, and there's going to be a lot more content and a lot of information or a lot of strategies that I use myself. This isn't some kind of techniques that I've just pulled out of thin air. These are things that I want to talk to you that I'm personally using. And yes, when you do start out, like I mentioned, you're going to be a bit tired of doing it. But once you get a habit, once you keep doing it, then it becomes second nature, and then it just, it, it's just absolutely fantastic. So I hope that you enjoyed this podcast. If you did, make sure if you think this could benefit anyone else, then make sure you share this with friends, family, and literally anyone. So if you've enjoyed this, please make sure you can share this on Twitter, join me on Facebook and my YouTube TV channel, and you should find the relevant links below this podcast on this page. So thank you for listening, and watch out for the next podcast.